Hi, YouTube. It's Jack Rabbit here, back again. Uh, but I am not alone. Well, Angel's right here, but she has earbuds in, so she's probably not going to say anything.
I will say I'm watching Solo Leveling.
She's watching Solo Leveling. All right, and Q, we got the Billy.
Hey, what's going on, bro shippers?
We've figured out a way that we can actually talk to each other that doesn't act completely stupid.
If for whatever
Yes.
reason, guys, Skype would kick us out. Where
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, and
it was weird
the most
because my end
random.
would be good and you would be gone, or your end would be good and I
Yeah,
would be
and
gone.
then it was also
weird.
almost impossible for me to find the recordings and stuff. We won't get into all that. We'll probably explain that in another video, maybe. Probably not.
New studio, same old shenanigans from us two fools.
Pretty much. Can you be nice and turn that light on, Angel? Because I'm already doing this, so it would. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I discovered I forgot to turn the light on behind me. That was dumb. All right, so today we're going to talk about who in the MCU knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man, or who Peter actually is. Because as we know, because Happy saw him at the end of.
Oh, Peter
Spider-Man.
knows?
No, he saw him at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. Thank you. Thank you, Angel. If you guys didn't hear that, I know I still need to make us dinner. I know.
But wouldn't Peter know that Peter's Peter?
No, because Happy
Peter Parker
saw
does not
him.
know he's Peter Parker. So Tom Holland's Spider-Man does not know he's Spider-Man.
No. He knows. I mean, Happy Hogan saw him, and they were standing right by Aunt May's grave. And
Right.
He did not recognize him.
No, he didn't.
So that means and as we know also from the end of the movie, MJ and Ned Leeds also did not recognize him.
Right.
So that probably means, so who would know? Okay, so obviously there's people outside the MCU that might know. We won't discuss them. They are not on this list. They are not being discussed. Who in the actual MCU? Okay, so how Doctor Strange worded it, I don't remember the exact wording. If you do, Billy, go. Please feel free to say it. But how I remember him wording it, he's like anyone in this planet world or something like that.
You can't say in, you can say on.
On, yeah. You know, Doctor Strange talks weird half the time anyways.
Maybe.
So, okay. Then that covers quite a few characters that were not on planet at the time. Of course, first one everyone's going to think about is Nick Fury. Joint Angel said that, but wasn't he? No, he was still on his space station, which is off planet. So
yeah,
he would know.
Weren't the Kree disguised as him?
No. Talos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where he would have actually been at that time.
No, what I'm saying is Nick Fury would have been away, but everyone thought Nick Fury was actually Talos because of his disguise.
No, Talos stopped being Nick Fury after the event of Far From Home.
That's right.
So, no, he would down a bit. And I don't think he might have been on planet, though. He just would have been actually as Talos, not. So I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, that one's
not sure on that one on him.
Bugger.
What?
My cheese molded.
Whoops. As we were saying, so he may not have known, but doesn't matter because he's not alive anymore because of Secret Invasion anyways. So it doesn't matter. He don't matter. He not alive. But so Nick Fury would obviously know. And plus he's Nick Fury. He probably would have, did his research anyways and figured it out anyways.
Yeah.
Even if he would have forgot because of the spell, Nick Fury's going to do his research and find out. Which means there's somebody else who would have that information. Do you know who that would be?
The Guardians of the Galaxy. Because they're off planet, so they would probably know that he's...
We're going to get into them later. You brought them up. We're going to get into them later.
Mariah Hill would probably know, too.
Maria Hill is no longer alive.
That's right.
She died in Secret Invasion as well.
Okay,
No.
I haven't watched Secret Invasion, so quit spoiling everything.
Sorry. Somebody way younger than
Anybody
Maria Hill.
working with Fury would know, though, like his people.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't really working with Fury, but she did kind of get a hold of something McFury had, which is his little tablet. You haven't figured out who I'm talking about?
No, I don't really. I just watch the movies. I don't really pay that much
Well,
attention.
it's from the movies.
Yeah, but I only watch them like one time usually, and I kind of go on with it. I look at the bigger story picture. I don't really
Miss
look at like the
Marvel.
little details.
Miss Marvel, during the Marvels movie, got a hold of Nick Fury's little 10 pad.
But she may know. She may.
He would
Depending
know
on how much
Spider
she got to play around
Peter
with
Parker is Spider-Man, but she does not know who he is
it.
because
Right.
she never met him before.
Hey, the audience knows. I don't think our memories were wiped.
Smart ass.
The fans.
And another one that might know, Monica Rambeau might know, but she's on whatever Earth or universe. Sorry, I'm talking DC there.
I'm
Universe.
trying to
she's
think
in.
of the people who worked with him in Avengers that would have been off planets. Like the Guardians would have known.
Yes, Guardians. All the Guardians would know. Which means Peter Quill, who is on Earth, would know.
Right.
So, and of course, Rocket knows.
Yeah, the Guardians. We said the Guardians.
Yeah, everyone except for, well, Drax is no longer going to be around. But
Right.
he would know. But then again, Drax is stupid, so
True.
they would know what he looks like, but I don't know if they would know him as Peter Parker.
They would know him as Spider-Man, though.
Yeah, they would know him as Spider-Man, but they would not know him as. So if, like,
Thor would know.
somebody, yeah, Thor would know. Well, no, he wouldn't know. They never had an interaction that we know of.
They had the battle at the end.
Yeah, but they never directly interacted.
Well, we assume they were there. They talked at the funeral of.
They probably talked at the
off
funeral,
screen.
but I don't know if he ever actually introduced himself as Peter Parker. So,
Well, like I said, that we assume there was talks off screen.
yeah, but people we
So
saw
the people
on
at the
screen,
funeral would know.
Captain Marvel would know what he looks like in his face, and also know him as Peter Parker, so she could
Yeah.
find him. But I'm trying to think anybody else who would know.
It's gonna be maybe Hulk. Would Hulk know?
Hulk, no. Somebody said Hulk because Banner was in Banner form when the snap when that happened during the events of that. He was in Banner form. But the thing is, whenever they become Professor Hulk, which is the version of Hulk we're more likely going to see, they have one mind. So anything Banner knows, Hulk would know. Anything Hulk would know, Banner would know.
Gotcha.
So there's a chance, but doubtful there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm sure that it's gonna be interesting to see where the story goes after the events of the third one.
Yeah.
Of course,
Now,
the
we're
other
gonna find
Peters
out.
would know, and Green Goblin would know.
Yeah. Well, they're not in the MCU. They don't.
No, but they could come back eventually.
Yeah, they could possibly in Secret Wars, maybe. But we'll find out.
I'm thinking Peter's going to reintroduce himself to Ned and MJ in the next film.
Yeah, well, more than likely not in Spider-Man 4 because of where it just depends on how Marvel wants to handle that because it's coming out between the two Avengers movies. It may be a side story inside on Battle Planet or the Void or whatever they end up calling Battle Planet in between the two Avengers movies.
Yeah, it depends on where the movie's going to take place and
in
what
the
it's gonna be
timeline.
about.
If it's going to take place in the timeline where it actually takes place, then we won't find out anything about MJ or Ned or anything until probably Spider-Man 5.
I think they'll make an appearance in 4, even if it just shows like what they're doing during this time. They may not interact with Peter, but I think they'll make at least an appearance in the
Possibly,
film.
but if it is taking place between the two Avengers movies, they would be like wiped from existence. So yeah, they wouldn't They wouldn't exist.
They exist. They're still living on Earth.
No. It's what's going to be happening between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Well, we haven't even seen a trailer yet for the new Spider-Man, so I'm curious to see like what characters.
Well, they haven't filmed it yet. They're not going to be filming it until this year.
So yeah, I think it's a little bit too early to know exactly where it's going to go.
Yeah, as I said, they could always do a thing where, kind of like how Guardians 2 took place right after Guardians 1, but yet it was filmed 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah, they could go that.
They could do something like that. It just all depends on where they want it to take place in the timeline. If I was Marvel, if I was writing it, me personally, I think I would, just because of what I know about the comics. Sorry, I know you hate when I do this.
I read some
comic nerd here for a second. Because of what I know about what happens in the comics with Secret Wars and what they're adapting for Doomsday, it would be best to take it place before the events of Avengers 5.
Doomsday.
That's what Avengers 5 is going to be called.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the enemy Doomsday. I'm like, wait a minute.
No. Yeah, I know. That gets confusing because of DC. That's a DC character, not a Marvel character.
Right.
So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, because of, what they're adapting there, it would be best for Spider-Man 4, even though it's coming out between the two Avengers movies, to take place before that because, yeah, it would just be a better story.
This will be the first Spider-Man 4 we've seen live action.
Yes,
and it'll be interesting to see because 3 was the one I was worried about, and they nailed it out of the park. So I think they know how this Spider-Man works. So I think they're going to have a good story either way. Do you remember what? Do you remember what year this is going to come out? I mean, obviously it's not going to be this year.
2026.
2026. Okay, so next year it's going to be coming out.
They're filming it this year with Avengers 5, and then it'll be coming out next year.
And I know you were telling me this relates to it. You were telling me Feige has been more hands-on now, so it's going to connect in the right way, or however they do with this film.
Yeah. We are not sponsored. I'm just thirsty. Yeah. What's been happening with that? I'm just going to directly mention it here, just because I don't know if I'll ever get a chance again. Is because Bob Iger or Barb, whatever his last name was, one of the two Bobs, that was CEO of Disney, wanted Kevin Feige to pump out so much stuff. Like 3 or 4 movies a year, and who knows how many DC Plus shows.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was ridiculous how much he wanted to push out. Because he was pushing out so much stuff, I'm going to try to be nice and say stuff. Kevin Feige, in this early MCU, before Endgame, MCU and Endgame, Kevin Feige was always watching the dailies to make sure everything was going the way he wanted.
Right.
His vision and all that, and making sure, everything was good, everything makes sense. We didn't get any crappy movies.
I'm glad he got his vision back because Wanda has still lost her vision, and she's been devastated ever since. But
that story's not done yet.
No, I know.
That story will continue, and I think they're supposed to get a full clarification of that in the Vision Quest series, I do believe.
I think so, yeah.
I do believe that's where that's supposed to end. We might get one more series or movie after that, but yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how he reintroduced himself to the characters who forgot him. If he'll just say, hey, I'm Peter Parker, never revealing Spider-Man to Ned and MJ, or if eventually he just can't stay away from them and eventually they find their way back into his life and he eventually does reveal who he is.
Unless something happened, as we know, MJ and Ned are going to be going to MIT.
Yes, that's correct.
So if they do want Ned or MJ in this next Spider-Man movie, from what I heard, it's only going to be MJ. I have not heard anything about Ned coming back, which I am fine with. I'm cool with that.
Until he becomes the villain and fights him.
Yeah, stole my thunder. Gonna explain this. So after the events of Secret Wars, they're going to soft reboot the MCU. Just so that way, when they're introducing the X-Men, it looks like the X-Men have been here the whole time.
Right.
And not just all of a sudden they're here. So that's why they're doing this soft reboot. They could use that soft reboot because the MCU does not have a Goblin. As Norman Osborn pointed out in Spider-Man Far From Home, thank you for that one again, Angel. These home names were getting annoying because it's like confusing. Well, No Way Home and Far From Home were getting confusing.
Homecoming was more straightforward, but
yeah, that one was pretty easy to remember which one's which.
Do you think we'll get Michael Keaton back as Vulture again?
Yes.
Okay.
If they want to bring him back, yes. What they can use it is because as Norman Osborn from Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire's Earth pointed out, there is no Oscorp, there is no Norman Osborn in the main MCU. So, and obviously, I'm sorry, if you're doing Spider-Man, you gotta have a Goblin. And since the only other Goblin character they could possibly do is Hobgoblin, without retconning that there isn't a Norman Osborn or Oscorp and all that in the main MCU, they could do that as well. But why not do the easy thing since you already got a character playing Ned Leeds, who got himself in phenomenal shape, I might add, compared to what he looked like in Far From Home and all that. He got himself in phenomenal shape now.
I thought they just had him in a fat suit in the first one.
No. In the first two, no. I think in the third one he was in a fat suit. All the others, no. That was actually how big he was.
Okay.
He got himself in phenomenal shape. Why not reward the actor and let him do Hobgoblin?
Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting direction.
At the end of Spider-Man 5, because that'll be after the reboot. Even if it's just a tease at 5 and he's a bigger threat in 6, that would still be cool.
We'll see where they go with it. We have several years.
I just said there's multiple ways they can go with it. I just said they can also just retcon that there's not a Norman Osborn in Oscorp in the MCU, which I would be okay with that option too.
Or Harry to be Hobgoblin.
No, Harry's not Hobgoblin. Ned Leeds is.
Well, Harry was Hobgoblin in the original.
No, he was called New Goblin.
Okay.
That is an understandable confusion there.
Because the way in the movie, they made it seem like he was Hobgoblin.
Yeah, but he's not actually Hobgoblin. That's a completely different thing. They never actually technically called him anything in the movie at all.
No, just
Harry.
Harry.
Just looked like his dad. He just looked very...
Just Howdy. Just Howdy.
It was weird.
Or it wasn't Howdy.
I'm not blaming James Franco there. I believe that was James, right?
Yeah.
That was James
he was
Franco.
just Harry.
Yeah. It was weird. It was weird.
It was.
That whole Goblin storyline with him was weird because he didn't.
That was very odd.
He never got the Goblin serum, so he didn't have the strength or anything that his dad had.
Right.
Or the crazy. He went crazy on his own. That story was weird. Let's be honest. Can we just forget Tobey's Spider-Man 3 ever existed?
Except for Sam.
We have to recall, I don't know if Angel's listening, because she's more the dancing expert here.
Sandman
we have to recall the dancing scene.
God.
Oh, God. Angel?
It was terrible.
What?
Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire dancing scene. You know which one I'm referring to?
One of the worst dance scenes.
Hold on, let's let her think for a second.
No, I can't remember.
It's so bad she can't
It's not cool. That's trying to be cool.
It was.
Time. And that's how it was supposed to be interpreted. Was it's a kid that's not cool that wants to dance like he is cool, like how he thinks.
No, that was dorkily bad. That's like
it was.
That's like me dancing half the time. I mean, it looks dorkily bad. Not anymore.
Dude,
Sorry,
that would be
Deadpool,
about as bad if they made a live action Last Airbender. Could you imagine with M. Night Shyamalan? Oh my god, that would be a horrible idea. I'm glad they never did
oh my
that, but
gosh.
could you imagine if they tried
We
that?
will discuss that movie in another video.
Yeah, but
That
could you imagine if they did that? I'm glad they didn't do it,
yeah,
but that would
you
be
know
as
that
bad as
actually
it can be.
happened. We will discuss that movie in another video.
Wait, the
Oh,
movie actually happened?
yes.
Oh my
And let's not
god.
forget Dragon Ball Evolution. That
That's
video
worse than
can
the
be
24/7 championship.
yeah, okay. So yeah, so it just all really depends on where Marvel wants to go with it. As I said, me personally, I would not, have it take place between the Avengers movie because that's putting way too much. How do I want to put it? Multiverse stuff into a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I was cool with how they did it in Far From Home. That one made
The way they did that was great. I
that
really
was
liked it.
great. That was mwah, chef kiss, good. But if you do too much with it, if you put too much multiverse stuff in there, Spider-Man is not a multiverse character. He has the Spider-Verse,
Right.
which I would love for them to actually get into.
I think they might bring in Gwen at some
But
point.
at some point, Sony needs to get their heads out of their butts, and Marvel just needs to be ready to do it.
Yeah.
Because they need to set up way more Spider-Man characters, Spider-Men, in a live-action universe.
They probably will eventually. It's just going to be a while. We're going to be old and in our 60s talking about this.
Probably. Sony
Hey,
has
by the way,
to.
I got a report from Viper.
No,
You know what he
did he
said?
say?
He said, "Broship, you two are going to be doing this till you're 90. Till you're 90." And I was like,
We probably will be.
"Yeah, we're going to
Really.
be old farts."
You got to throw in the joke from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, we're probably going to be
Even though
in a
they
nursing.
probably will be
We're
doing
going to
it
be
till
in a
they're 90.
nursing home. What's up? I forgot to take my milk of magnesia. Hold on, you bro shippers.
Yeah, speaking of this, I forgot to take my medicine today. Oops. I'll go do that
That's
here in a
not
little
good.
bit.
Yeah, getting old's fun. I don't recommend it, guys. You'll be on medicine and you'll be getting
We're not
ARP
old
letters in your
yet.
30s. I've got ARP letters before. And that walker you sent in the mail. Thanks a lot for that birthday gift, Jack.
Really? Really? You got to pick on me?
Yeah, dude. You sent me
No.
a walker.
Hey, we're not old yet. I just have health issues that we don't not discuss in this video.
We're not old. We're just older.
Exactly. But yeah, so yeah, basically any character in the MCU, we're not going to be going and visiting Deadpool. Deadpool would probably know because we know he knows a version of Spider-Man because he was doing this thing in Deadpool.
Well, and
Wolverine.
Deadpool can break the fourth wall and can read your thoughts before you can read them. So that's kind of an unfair.
Well, they've established that he knows a version of Spider-Man. We don't know which version of Spider-Man he knows, though.
That's true.
Because it's never discussed.
What if he knows
We assume
Miles?
he might know Tom Holland's version, but we don't know that for sure.
No.
Because they don't really establish it.
No, they don't.
Now, which version he knows. But he knows he knows because he was doing the web shooter thing. No,
Yeah.
not the cross chop. We're not talking DX. Wrestling reference, if anybody gets it. If you don't, we're not going to explain it here. Really? You can't see me? Really? I can make it.
It'll be interesting to see where they go with it and what they reveal as far as like who knows, and if he ends
Who
up
knows?
who
Well,
he
they've
is
got
later.
if he is going to fight with the Avengers, which he's supposed to in Avengers 5, they've got to establish how to get him involved. I would say the best way, as I said, is use a character who is off planet.
Yeah,
Who would
that's
know.
not a bad idea.
I mean, that would be better than, like, say Sam Wilson's Captain America goes to recruit Star-Lord because he's on Earth for the new Avengers team. I'm trying to think of somebody who's on Earth that would know what he looks like and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Miss Marvel, but then again, she doesn't actually know what Peter looks like. So she couldn't help there. But, so we're going to use Star-Lord here. In this theory, we'll use Star-Lord. We'll let you guys go after I finish my theory here. Because this video's been long enough. Of course, we can't make short videos. But as I was saying, okay, so Sam Wilson goes to recruit Star-Lord, Peter Quill, and he goes, "Hey, I'm trying to find Spider-Man, but I don't know what he looks like, and I don't feel like tracking him down all over New York City, because he's going to be all over New York City. He's not Spider-Man. With Spider-Man, the thing with Spider-Man is he's not centralized like Daredevil, who's central to Hell's Kitchen,
Right.
and a few other characters, how they're central to a certain borough. He's all over. So yeah, he would be very hard. If you don't know what he looks like as Peter Parker, when he's Spider-Man, he's hard to track down.
Good luck.
That
Yeah.
is all over the place. You never know where he's going to show up.
Exactly.
Which is not always a bad thing. But yeah. And he would go, "Oh, you mean," he would probably actually say his name. "Oh, you mean Peter?" He would probably call him Peter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Because that's just something Star-Lord would do. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you know where to find him?" "Somewhere in New York City." But that would give him a little bit better line of how to find him. And maybe Nick Fury will have an easier way to track him down. But once he gets that connection between, that Spider-Man's Peter Parker and what he looks like, he'll be easier to track him down.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if the new Cap has some recruiting moments, like if they're trying to build the next Avengers through Cap.
Oh yeah, because he's gonna build that Avengers team officially before Avengers 5, which
If it's him that does it, not somebody else, it'll be interesting to see if that's what.
Well, it's either gonna be him or Fury, Nick Fury again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so it's either gonna be him or Nick Fury again. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see because, like I said, we have 3 good Marvel movies coming out this year.
Yeah, well, hopefully good.
Hopefully, I think they'll be good.
I'm not worried about it because you got the Fantastic Four. That's gonna be solid.
Thunderbolts.
And then, of course, Captain America: Brave New World.
The one I'm worried about the most is Captain America 3.
The one I would worry about the most is either Captain America: Brave New World.
That one I am a little bit. Just because there's been so many rewrites and so many issues behind the scenes. Well, that's what I'm worried about.
Okay. Well, a lot of the rewrites weren't really rewrites.
So they've changed the story a lot.
Oh, yeah. They have because, well, one, they actually changed the story. And the reason why they did a lot of the reshoots, it had nothing to do with Sam Wilson. Actually, all of his stuff that they originally shot stayed.
Okay.
And stuff they reshot that everybody keeps hearing about is the stuff with the villain.
All right, I got you.
Of the film, which is the leader, who is played by Tim Blake Nelson from one of the Hulk movies. I get those confused. I think it's Incredible Hulk, I believe, was the second one.
Well, the MCU one's the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, there we go. Incredible
Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. The other Hulk wasn't technically in there.
Yeah, there we go. I get them confused. That's why
I don't even really remember that first Hulk movie that much. I remember the Incredible Hulk, but not like
nobody does. Although Stan Lee did have a cameo in that movie as a security guard.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do this. And I think your theory about Sam being it would make more sense because why have Fury do it twice in a row? Why not have Sam be the one out on street level going around and actually like recruiting people?
And he's going to have to do it quick because we've only got, so you got Captain America: Brave New World. We've got Thunderbolts, which there's not going to be any recruiting in that movie because that's going to be all dealing with the Thunderbolt stuff. Fantastic Four, and we don't know. They're not, at the beginning of their movie, they're not in the MCU, but they're supposed to be in the MCU by the end of their movie. Don't know how that's going to happen.
They haven't done the best job about setting up this group of Avengers.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because then you got Avengers 5, but I think there's supposed to be one more movie in between Avengers 5 and Fantastic Four, but I can't remember what it's supposed to be.
Well, we have the 3 movies this year.
Yeah.
And let me Google this while you're talking here.
Yeah. Unless Avengers 5 is supposed to be the early movie that year, but I could have sworn there's supposed to be one before that one.
Well, there's 3 this year that you've already named.
Yeah.
So it says here we've got Captain America: Brave New World, as you said, February 14th. Thunderbolts is May 2nd. Fantastic Four, and then after that, May 1st, 2026, Avengers: Doomsday, an untitled Spider-Man: No Way Home sequel, July 24th, and then Avengers: Secret Wars.
Okay, so everything I just named, the 3 movies I just named, that's all we have leading into Avengers 5.
Unless they just open with them recruiting at the beginning of the Avengers.
Yeah, it's very
film.
possible they could open with a little bit of recruitment, which
I
would
don't
not
think that they're
surprise
going
me.
to copy the exact same way they did the other.
No, they're not going to be setting this team up the same way they did the Avengers. Because I think he's going to have to get that team ready to fight by midway through the movie.
Right.
Which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do it this time around. Because it's not going to be the same as last time. All right, we're going to let you guys go. And we'll see you next time. I'm Jack Rabbit.
I'm Billy, and we're out of here.
We're out of here.